Hello, Willow.
Hello, darling. We made it. We
We
did it.
made it.
Hi,
Here,
everyone.
here we are again to talk about the next step in having ejaculatory control, curing premature ejaculation, and how our lover can dramatically influence our success or sabotage our success.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is one of the key pieces in gaining control over premature ejaculation is having the support to do so, is having the platform and the bed, so to speak, of like somebody who's encouraging you and supporting you and working with you, and this can actually get really sexy and fun. So
Only, only totally. It's all about mindset and acknowledging that people are coming into this experience in different relationship levels. There's some people who've been married for 30 years and they've got, decades of resentment and frustration and inadequacy that they have to now reapproach in order to resurrect a flourishing sexual love life. And then on the other side of the equation are people who are just dating. You meet somebody in a bar and you go home together that night and it's a totally different type of experience. So just acknowledging that there's a lot of complexity here.
yes,
And it's also is what makes for a really rich inquiry into the sexual awakening process.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's part of what makes it such a beautiful journey with another soul, with another body, with another human, is that inquiry, right? Because then you're staying with a thread of presence when you're in that inquiry of how can I support you in this moment? Okay, I learned these techniques. Let me try them. This will be fun. Staying with that instead of jumping ahead. That's what we always, as humans, we want to know. We want to get ahead. We want to figure it out. And that gets in the way of what's actually happening. So coming back to
Well
presence
said.
and sensation.
When your lover is at a peak level of arousal and they feel they're about to ejaculate soon, you can harness that moment and go, pause with me and breathe with me and look me in my eyes, and I want you to just feel me. It's a few seconds of this pause, and you've made a huge intimacy deposit because you've just done all this action, all these moves, and now pause, increase heart power connection. Let that settle in, let that integrate. And what that'll do is cool some of that fire.
You keep making those deposits. I love that. The intimacy deposit. And it's also the sexual, the jingqi, the arousal deposit. So in Chinese medicine, we think about sexual energy as like this bank account. And a lot of times, most people are draining that bank account. They're throwing their sexual energy all over the place. They're ejaculating all over the place, or they're just like,
spending,
draining
yeah.
that account. So this is an opportunity for both of you to put back into that deposit, to put back into that account.
We talk about how do you gain the skill sets? What are the 5 different pressure points that you can implement to allow yourself to come back from the edge and kind of feel that cool down? And so we give strategies on how to practically do something so that you can last longer. There's this whole science and technology regarding men looking at their sexual health and their sexual vitality and doing something that's actually counterintuitive than what their biology would have them do. Because their biology is filled with hormones that flood the system that says, let's populate the planet with all your sperm.
Yes.
And it doesn't know if you're just self-pleasuring or if you are, having the romance of your life. How do you communicate the power of that to someone you're just dating? What would open you dating someone new who was working on their mastery? How would you be really drawn into wanting to be in partnership with someone who might be struggling?
This is such a good question for all of us, for you women out there. Like, What would really impress you? What would ignite you and light you up if you're in a new dating experience with somebody and they have an issue with premature ejaculation and they would love to help you help them heal that? How could they bring that conversation to you in a way that you could receive it? This is going to help all of us to get as many answers as we can, because we're all so dynamic and such different beings, yet we're all the same. So for
So
me,
true.
for me personally, it's that honesty. It's that authentic truth and honesty. If somebody's trying to hide something or cover up something or pretend like there's something that they're not, boring. I'm out. Like, not interesting at all to me. But if somebody comes to me with pure, authentic truth of like, I really want to make love to you and I've been struggling with premature ejaculation. Do you know anything about that? Do you know any techniques or how to help me through that? Because I would love to learn. I would love to understand that more. Or if somebody came to me and was like, I just took this workshop with Leah and Willow and I just learned all these amazing things. Maybe I don't exactly have premature ejaculation, but I would like to last longer. You know, I would like to be able to go for over an hour. So if a man came to me with that and he's like, can we try these techniques together? Can I share them with you? Can we try them? That childlike curiosity is what is attractive for me.
But I know it'll be more successful if you're game.
You
know, and if you don't know how to explain what it is that you need partnership with, go onto YouTube. If you come to our class on the 28th, you'll get a replay. Sit with someone and say, okay, what did you, out of watching that video or reading that blog article, what were your takeaways? What were the things that you think we should try first?
Yeah.
The other thing is for you as a man to learn the techniques on your own so you discover which ones are your favorite.
Yeah.
With the 5 we're going to be teaching, I want each man to be able to learn which one works best for my body. And when you have that information, it makes it so much easier to pass it along.
Absolutely. Yeah. All sexual cultivation begins with you, right? All learning how to build your bank account of sexual energy should be done on your own before you bring it to partnership, so that you know the pathways, what to press, how much pressure, and how to draw the energy up your yang channel and down your yin channel. You know what that feels like. When you have that inside of your body, then you're stepping into sexual sovereignty and you've got this inner knowing. And there's still openness to more curiosity. Wow, now there's another person and I'm running it through these meridians and channels and cultivating and harvesting sexual energy. But now this other person is here, and what does that allow me to do even more of or less of, you know, depending on the person, the relationship, and where things are at. It's all very dynamic. One of the things you said, Leah, I wanted to go back to, you're with your partner and he's like, okay, I'm getting close to the edge, and you're wanting to make it last longer, you know, just in that sweet, sexy voice, just say, stay with me, and open your eyes.
Open your
connect.
eyes.
Yeah, heart to heart, eye to eye, connect. And that is so intimate and so deep. And it builds the energy of sexuality, which then gives a greater capacity for building the physical sexual energy.
And from an energetic standpoint, when you pause, the most logical thing that's happening is you're stopping friction. Right? So when you in like a sexy, loving voice can say, ooh, just pause with me. I want to feel you. You feel so big right now, and I just need to take that in. Okay, what man is not going to be like, big? You've immediately captured his attention. You brought him to another place in his brain. His eyes open is bringing the energy to another circuitry point. Then with the breathing, babe, breathe with me. Like you're purposely elongating the breath. You're slowing the breath down. Have you ever noticed when you go into an ejaculation, what your breathing is doing? Yeah. Or you hold your breath.
Yeah.
And
It
so,
gets shallow or held. Yeah.
yes, to be able to slow down the breath, synchronize it, get the eye contact going, you are recapturing another part of his brain and his circuitry, and that will support him from going over the waterfall. I think the big fear during these pause points is, but what if she's right on the edge? What if my lover is like right at the edge of their own orgasm, or it
Right.
might happen soon and I'm about to lose it because I'm getting excited because they're getting excited. And it's kind of this panicky because you want them to have their experience, but you're kind of over amping.
Then you're doing it out of fear and not out of love, my friends.
This is where the generosity of both people comes into play. This is where the lover who wants their partner to feel adequate, to have confidence, to feel empowered, also has to not panic that they're getting close and they're not going to get theirs, which can be tricky when you've had a lot of resentment in the past.
Yes.
Of unsatisfaction. We've got to clear the past, just one lovemaking session at a time, and go on an adventure and keep a mindful state of curiosity and trust that if the climax is real, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to come back. That's so right. If you are getting really excited and your partner's getting overexcited and there needs to be sort of a pause, you have to trust in desire and arousal.
Yeah.
When your partner needs to do a pressure point technique to regain some control and you don't want them to because you're headed somewhere, what do you do in those moments to stay with it? Stay in the generosity, stay in the curiosity, is you keep allowing desire to permeate you.
Through you.
Yes, it's like, ooh, oh, I can't wait for that. Oh, it's still right here. Just because they stopped moving or just because they pulled out does not mean
that
the energy is going to
keep
escape.
Exactly. The Shakti is your own responsibility. It's your own energy. You're creating it. So stay with the creation of it.
Yeah. And get off on the energetic exchange. Like they're so hot. They're so turned on. They're at such a peak level of arousal. They got to pull out. Well, then by God, get off on that. You know what I mean? Like absorb that wonderful sexual tension. You know, and just be in the tension of it. So peaky.
Yeah. Breathe with it, move with it, keep it fluid, keep it moving through your body while your partner is having their pause to regain their control. Y'all need to take responsibility for what's going on in your own body.
Yeah.
That's what
and enjoy the stretching out of the experience.
It's so good.
Yeah.
That's where all the chi is. That's where all the juice is. That's the vitality. That's the shit that's going to get you making love into your 90s.
One of the underpinning issues around this whole topic is that we're goal-oriented. There's this obsession with, I have to make my partner come in order to feel adequate and successful as a lover. And that gets us in more trouble than if we had a different goal, which is, how much can I love? How much can I feel alive? How much can I be connected to this person? If you can make the goal love, and that doesn't have to mean like, oh, romantic, I want to be with this person forever. This may just be a fuck buddy as far as I'm concerned. But still, you're bringing the energy of love. You're bringing that quality of goodness to another person's experience. You stay in the presence of love. That's where pleasure follows.
That's right.
So if you really want your lover to have these climatic, transcendent experiences of a pleasure, stop making it about making them come and start making it about the experience of love and juiciness and sexy erotic innocence. And the orgasms follow and you don't got to go chasing them anymore.
That's right. That's right. And this is a practice. This is a skill. I catch myself even now sometimes like, oh shit, I'm getting goal oriented. Let me roll it back. Let me get present again. You know, it's so easy to go down that rabbit hole because that's our culture. That's what's ingrained in us. Produce, get to the end, goal oriented. That's what's valued in our society. So this is bringing the yin in. We live in a very yang dominant society, and there's nothing wrong. We need the yang, we need the structure, we need goals, all that's good. But we need to bring in more yin. We need to bring in more presence and more staying tuned into what's true and what's actually happening.
This is always a rich conversation with you. And I hope that it feels like a conversation that our viewers will take even deeper with the people that they love, in your trusted friendships, and in the people that you're dating or with your spouse, and really start to consider how we're feeling really fulfilled on a sacred level when it comes to sex, because so many of us have it very separated. It's like, here's my spiritual life, here's my
Sex
sexual life,
life. Yeah.
and there's not a place where the two intersect. We get to be these beautiful human beings where pleasure is something that we all deserve and can be renewed by.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's so funny how we spend so many years of our life learning how to, do this arithmetic and this writing style and this business and this, that, and this. And we never really take the time to learn how to love in this intimate, energetic, spiritual, romantic, bonded, present way. That's what we are here to really teach. It's so worth the investment of time and energy and resource to learn this stuff, because it's the foundation of who we are as human beings. We all come from sexual energy. It's where we come from.
Yeah, I think it's interesting here in the West, with our technology advancements and our linear way of moving in the world, and how prized that is and how rewarding it also is. It's different than some of the principles that you and I specialize in, which is taking a look at what sexuality was in a spiritual country that didn't have the technology. So where they're advanced is in spiritual pursuits, and how does something like working with meditation and the breath and this presence, asking for the divine to work through us and through our lover to have these amazing transcendent experiences. We've lost something that is so powerful in the West that has existed in many parts of the East, although a lot of it's been lost there too. This resurrection of this ancient wisdom and bringing and weaving that into our modern world, we've got a lot that can be enhanced and learned in regards to the movement out of all the distractions with porn, of what's outside of us, and instead of concentrating on the development of following our sensations with our own skin and with our breath, and watching something else blossom in who we get to be as a human.
Yeah.
So if this is something that you're watching and you find it intriguing, please share it with people, because we all deserve to have a better sex education. We all got misinformation. Porn is never going to teach you how to satisfy someone. And school sucks. So there's so many things they can't do in school, and even medical school. There's still there's so much misinformation out there. And here's to your love life.
Yeah, cheers to your love life. We're going to be teaching the Male Sexual Mastery Workshop on the 28th of April. That's next Thursday. It's at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. There will be a replay if you can't make it live. Please send your men friends, and please come join us, men. Even if you're not struggling particularly with premature ejaculation, you're still going to learn so much from this workshop, and how to really prolong your lovemaking, not just in a single session, but in a whole lifetime.
It's priceless information. You do not have to have a dysfunction to attend. You're going to benefit from every single aspect of this class. It's 2 hours long. It's only $57, and you get a bunch of freebies if you come. There's so much value for what your investment is. I hope you make time for it. So if you want information about the program, you can go to my bio at More Love Works, and you can also go to SexReimagined profile there and find the link.
or my bio, Dr.
Is it on
Willa Brown. Yep.
your profile too?
It's in
Okay,
my
great.
link tree. Yep.
Great.
All right. Sending
All
you all so much love.
right.
Enjoy the
Love, love,
weekend
love, love,
ahead.
love.
Bye.
Ciao.